Is this too close? Let's step into my office. Let me step into my wall. What are you waiting on? Come on in. The water's hot. Yeah, buddy. Okay, I'm back. Did you miss me? Hello, thank you for tuning in to another video. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna do this for dramatic effect. Today, I thought it would be nice to talk about how to spot a pretender. Let's get into it. Good, perfect. Yes, let's talk about this. How to spot a pretender. You know how that goes. There's people that want to be in our lives. Had to grab my drink. You can see me. Okay, so there are people who create whole lives just to be in our life for a little bit. Sips bullet. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How to spot those pretenders, how to spot those people that try to get up all in your business while hiding all of their business. Yeah, so with that being said, we're going to get right into it. So we're going to start with tip number 5. Put my drink down. Tip number 5. Consider your first thoughts, your gut feelings when you meet a person. Yes. Tip number 5, consider your first thoughts, consider your gut feelings, okay? Consider that. You know how like when you meet a person and off rip you just like, I'm gonna have to close these windows because it seems like New York don't know how to be quiet. You just meet a person and something just doesn't sit right with you. What I like to do is put a pin in it. As soon as I notice something that just doesn't sit right in my gut, I put a pin in it. And if it comes back up, or if it resurfaces, then I go back to that pin that I put in it. And that pin is in that file cabinet that's in the back of my head. I don't know if everyone else has a file cabinet in the back of their head, but yeah, I go through my file cabinet and then I pull out that pin. Oh yeah, I remember this day when I thought this, and it's true. And also, just a little bonus tip on that, that's a good way to strengthen your intuition. You know, instead of just assuming something is right, you put a pin in it, and then you revisit it later if it comes up. Like, you might have a thought about a person, but before just assuming that thought is correct, you put a pin in it. Yeah, I put a pin in it, and then I revisit that later. So, yeah, that's basically tip number 5. Trust your gut, use your gut, utilize your gut, and just put a pin in that thought when you first meet a person. I'm not saying that you just go with your first assumption, but I am saying that you don't just write that thought off. That's what I'm getting at. Don't write those thoughts off. Just put a pin in it, and if it comes up to be true, then you revisit it later. Then you know that your first thought was correct. That's how you work that out. I'm wearing my glasses. But I also don't want to record a whole video fuzzy. Ooh, that's too much cleavage. Yeah, so that was tip number 5. Moving to tip number 4 is see if they are about what they speak about. See if their actions match their words. Are they really about that action? Long story short. Is the person that you're talking to really about that action? Or are they just all talk? Tip number 4, see if they are about what they speak about, see if they really about that action. Do their actions match their words? If not, you might have a pretender on your hands. And I'm not only saying pretenders in relationships, it can be pretenders at jobs, pretenders as friends or acquaintances, or people trying to sell you something. That might have to be another video. I'm gonna get on that one. But that was tip number 4. Are they really about that action? Are they about what they speak about? If not, they're a pretender. Tip number 3. Beware of king love bombers. Beware of king and queen love bombers. Beware. Okay? Just saying stuff to get the draws, dog. Yeah, that's what I wrote down, and I kept reading it, and I didn't like it. I didn't like that. But I kept saying it anyways. yeah, king or queen love bombers, just saying whatever they need to say to get the draws, or maybe even to get your money, or to get something about of you. Be careful. Whatever they say don't hold any weight. They just talking just to be talking. Just saying extreme stuff, grand things, and they don't mean it. That's weird, right? I think it's weird. I think it's pretty weird for people to just say all of these things and don't mean it. But for some odd reason, it's an epidemic. People just keep doing it. It's like... So this can kind of go with tip number 4. But tip number 3 is beware of the love bombing, okay? Like just saying things like, just telling you how much they like you, but not really showing it with their actions. Just telling you all these things, or just making broken promises. Just making a bunch of empty promises. I'm sure you know some people like that. They say something and just don't do it. They say all of these things, but you'll be like, I don't understand why they say that I'm the only one that they talk to, but, or they just say that they just can't get enough of me, but it seems like they've had enough. That was tough, right? They say that they can't get enough, but it seems like they had enough. That's what love bombing basically is. Just people pretending to like you more than they really do, so beware. Now, with that being said, we're going to tip number 2. I just like that song, okay. But tip number 2. I said tip number 2, I'm about to give it to you. Tip number 2, I'm about to give it to you. Ooh, okay. I'm done. But tip number 2 is they try to wow you with material things to hide their true identity. They do these extreme grand gestures just so you don't notice the person that they really are. And like people around you just see like, oh my God, they're doing all these great things. Look at this, oh my God, all these things are so big. Oh my God, they give you the best gifts. But they're really not a good person. They're false. They're giving you all these gifts. Yeah, the things may be nice, but is it really worth it if they're not who they say that they are? Something to think about. That's tip number 2. They do all these grand things to hide their true identity. And all of these things that they're doing to show love or to show likeness is just worthless, because their personality does not match the person that they're pretending to be. That's tip number 2. Grand gestures to hide their true identity. Bars. Now we're tip. And it is tip number 1. Tip number 1. Then we're done. I said tip number 1. Then we're done. Tip number 1. Then we're done. I don't have my glasses on, but I look fuzzy anyway. I can't tell if the camera focused on me, cause my eyes be real low blurry. And when I say a little, I mean big blur. Hey, big blur in this thing. Okay, I'm done for role play all day. Tip number 1 though. Tip number 1 is they give up very easily with little to no effort. Ooh. I didn't know my own strength. But yes, tip number 1 is, the last tip, is that they give up very easily, and it seems that they give up very easily and they give little to no effort. And for some odd reason, I like sharing pieces of my business on here. I just feel like it's helpful. You know, I feel like we need a reference, and the reference that I know the closest is me. So let me give you an example. I was dating a guy, and he would do like a lot of really nice things for me. Like we would go on nice dates, and everything was nice. Yeah, he would just do nice stuff. This was like, you just go on nice dates, long story short. And then we decided to, when he asked me to be his girlfriend, I feel like I'm talking about high school, but no, this is adult life. He asked me to be his girlfriend, and we dated for like 2 to 3 months. On Friday the 13th, guess who's playing Jason? Me. Friday the 13th. So somebody texted me, and I'm just thinking it's him texting me, and I'm thinking like this was just like, it was just like a random sentence like, yeah, and he didn't tell you that he had a wife. But I'm over here thinking like this was connected to this other conversation that we were having about his uncle who passed away. So I'm thinking it's connected to that conversation, like, oh my God, oh, so you just finding out new information. I said, I responded like, question mark, are you talking about your uncle? And then after that message, he proceeds to call me. So in mind you, it's like 12 a.m.-ish. And I gotta go to work in the morning. I'm like, I don't got time for this shit. Anyways, they called me at 12 a.m. saying that, what did they say? Oh, call me at 12 a.m. talking about, she said, yeah, I'm his wife. I said, oh, wow. She said, yeah, I'm his wife, and I know you didn't know because I just finished going through his phone. I said, alrighty. She said, yeah. And then she hung up on me. I'm like, and then I went to bed. Like, the fuck? I had to get up to work, go to work in the morning. That was that. And then he tried to, I think he like, after that, like maybe an hour later, he called me, and then he might have texted me or something like that, like, what's up, what happened, I don't understand, he called me or something. Long story short, he was doing all of these things, and he seemed like he had a lot of time on his hand. He even went as far as asking me, like, when did I have time to have a wife? Well, she had time to call me from your phone at 12 a.m., even though you were doing all these grand things. So my thing is, I aired out a bit of my business just to let you know that dudes really, now this is specifically towards men and relationships. Some dudes, not all, because we just have to hope and pray that there are really some good men out there and they're really about what they speak about. But you mean to tell me a guy will really sit there and do all these nice things to woo me? Meanwhile, you got a woman at home who calls herself your wife, and let him tell it. That wouldn't be that way. You got a woman who can call me from your phone at 12 a.m. saying that she's your wife, and she just went through your phone, and I'm supposed to believe that you were really that guy that I met in the beginning. Like, no. You're doing all these things, think that you were going to get this, as my mother would say, the good, and you weren't really about that life. Long story, we just gotta look out for each other, and just to help out, just to look out for some pretenders. In real life, this video needs to be to people who just be yourself. God, that's all I say. Just be yourself, and if you want to fuck up on your own time. Don't try to be with somebody and drag them around and just fuck up, because I know it doesn't feel good. You probably feel stupid, but then again, maybe they don't feel anything. Some people just do stuff just because. I don't understand where they can get the thrill from in doing this or pretending to be somebody that they're not, because it's a short-lived victory. Long story short, pretending to be something you're not is a short-lived victory. And I'm going to end it at that. Beware of the pretenders, beware of the love bombing, and beware of the lying. Alright, thank you for watching. Bye! I hope this stay in focus, because like I said, my eyes are blurry and I can't really tell what's going on. So, yeah. Bye!